Right, we're on. I was waiting for my restream. It weren't kicking in. Good morning, everyone. How are we? Welcome to Thursday morning TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube chat. How are we all? Hope we're all good. Hope you've all had. I'm trying to think when I last saw you. Oh, yesterday morning. So it's only been 24 hours. Anyway, I hope you all had a good Wednesday. I did see some of you. If you're on plan or in my community, I did see you lovely people at 5 o'clock yesterday evening. But everyone else, if I didn't see you, have a good Wednesday and welcome to this morning's live. It's Thursday. Another week is drawing to a close. Another working week, anyway. Yeah, honestly, they're just absolutely flying by. I forgot to put Alexa set temperature 18 degrees. Got to put me off heater on, so I'm sat in my fleece, layered up, because it is a bit niche this morning. I love it. There's not a cloud in the sky, the sun is shining, but it is rather, a little bit cold, a little bit chilly. Anyway, should we top 5 on TikTok this morning? Let's see who is flying in this morning. Number 1, we've got Sheila. Number 2 is Kelly. Number 3 is Maureen. Number 4 is Lauren. And number 5 is Chip Away. Good morning, guys. Thank you always for jumping on the live, coming and saying hello. If you've got any weight loss questions, whether you're on TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube, whatsoever, please get them in. Any health questions, any fitness questions, even if you want any, you can ask what. If I know the answer, I'll give it you. If I don't know the answer, I won't. We'll move on. If you do ask a question, by the way, and I don't get to answering it, please don't take it personally. You can tell how cold it is. This has been in my office overnight, not been in a fridge, and it is ice cold. Right, let me scan up. Dan, good morning, mate. Stefan, good morning. Who else is in? Steve is in. Kirsty, Karen, morning all. Just watching Beangate on the Asda vlog. Yeah, old Beangate. It is amazing. It is amazing. I get a few people that do message me saying, how do you put up? And I don't know if it's because you guys are doing some social media and you might get feedback. And I'm like, how do you put up with all the comments and this, that, and the other? And I'm literally like, look, it's nothing personal to me. Right? Now, I might respond to some people and I might trigger them with some of my responses, but, you know, then that might be a little bit, but again, I get it. People are angry people. People are upset. And I think what triggers a lot of people about food is people think, we've all been there, I've been there. People think they have to eat in this very certain specific way to be healthy, to lose weight. And when someone like me comes along that breaks the boundaries or not pushes the boundaries, that's wrong. When someone like me comes along and actually shows a bit of context, a bit of logic, a bit of truth, it blows people's minds and people can't accept it. People genuinely can't accept it. And we've been battered for years and years and years with unhealthy advice around food. You know, when I started my weight loss journey years ago, I thought this food makes me fat, this food makes me thin, this makes me unhealthy, this doesn't make me unhealthy. And if I eat food that makes me fat and food that makes me unhealthy, that's why I have the issues I've got. Now, don't get me wrong. It is about balance. And if you're going to permanently eat what we would class as unhealthy foods or less nutrient-dense foods, there's a good chance you're going to struggle to control your appetite. You're going to be eating a lot more calories. That in turn, it's like a domino effect. That'll lead to, you know, an increase in your weight. But, you know, yeah, people just see one thing. It's processed, it's this, that, and the other, without actually looking at it. But why would people look at it? Right? Why would people look at it? Because you don't know all these people. I asked these people, look at all the ingredients in it. Break them down for me. Tell me what the issue is. They never do because they don't know. They're just repeating. It's like Chinese whispers. They're hearing what someone else says and they're just repeating and repeating and repeating. They generally don't understand the issues. They're just, well, this guy's got a six-pack and he says this is bad for us. So obviously it's bad for us. And the guy that, you know, has a lot of skin and doesn't have a six-pack, tells us good for us, he's lying, and the guy with the six-pack's telling the truth. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. But, yeah, honestly, it doesn't bother me whatsoever. ever. Because if it did, I wouldn't do it. If it did, I wouldn't do it. But, a lot of people only see the bad comments. It's like, because I get loads of positivity. I get loads of good comments. I get more positive comments than negative comments, but we only see what we want to see. And what I mean by that is, so if you TripAdvise a hotel, I don't know if anyone else does this, but this is what I do. When I go on TripAdvisor and I Google a hotel, even if it's 4.5 out of 5, I might read the last 10 reviews, right? And then I go straight to the bad reviews, right? And a hotel might have 10,000 reviews. It might be 4.5 out of 5. And out of 10,000 reviews, it's had 100 negative reviews. And you let those 100 negative reviews out of 10,000 creep in here. And it can just be a disgruntled person that, for whatever reason, they had a bit of a bad week. Their expectations were ridiculous. We went to a hotel in Mexico about in 2016. It was the first time we went to Mexico. We love Mexico. It's absolutely amazing. We went to this hotel and we booked it, and its reviews were amazing. And I remember getting on the plane, and the air hostess was like, "Oh, where are you guys going? Oh, we're staying at this hotel." I was like, "Oh, you're gonna have a stunning time," and this, that, and the other. I was like, "Yeah, oh, are we? Okay, yeah, it's meant to be really, really nice." And we went to this hotel, and I've never been. It was the first time I'd ever experienced anything. It was absolutely stunning. Like, the staff couldn't do enough for you. Like, honestly, every time you went to a restaurant, they pull your chair out, they put your chair in, they put your napkin on you. I'm like, this is an all-inclusive hotel. What's going on here? This is like a fine dining experience every night of the week. It was amazing. Yet there was so many people. Like, not so many. It got great reviews. And there were so many people like slagging this. Not so many people, that's wrong. But like, there were like, out of 10,000 reviews, probably 200 that said terrible, 1 star. And some of the things these people were complaining about, some of these things, because some of the rooms are private butlers, right? So you had a private butler, and they'd do anything for you. And they were like, ridiculous. I got back to out of the 2 weeks we were there, 3 nights we got back to our room and the butler hadn't turned our bed down. And I'm literally, now look, if you're a multimillionaire and you're maybe used to spending £30,000 on holidays or something like that, but this holiday was all right. We weren't cheap. Back in 2016, I think it cost us for 10 nights. I think it was £3,200, all in 10 nights, all inclusive. Which at the time we were like, it's £100, £120 a day. So I spend that going to the pub on a Saturday afternoon sometimes, and that's all your meals, all your food, everything. And like, this was one of their complaints. The butler in 2 weeks missed turning our bed down 3 nights, and I'm just like, this is where this is it. So what I'm trying to get at with that, I'm trying to use an analogy to compare it by. Yeah, but again, what stuck in my head was all these negative reviews, but there's 200 out of 10,000. So, and that's the thing, we only see what we want to see at times. Does that kind of make sense? But it's crazy. Anyway, I'm talking about this because I'm doing a podcast this afternoon. I'm going to record a podcast. The podcast title is "The Devil is in the Dose." And I'm going to go through. So if you have an unhealthy relationship with food, you're like, I shouldn't be eating this because it's classed as processed or ultra processed. This makes me fat. This makes me thin. You're scared of sugar. I'm going to try and cover it all in the podcast I'm recording today. I'll try and edit it and get it out tomorrow. So I've not done many podcasts in 2025 because I've been waiting for this place to be finished up, and before it kind of not got soundproofed, as it were, but I've tried to soundproof it a little bit. I put some of these, you might be able to see them if you're on thingy. I put some of these acoustic panels up to try and the sound. I asked people yesterday, I said, does it sound less echoey? And people were like, maybe, they weren't sure. Anyway, I listened to a recording that I did last week without them up, and I listened to another recording I did yesterday. I'm like, he's 10 times better. He's still not perfect. I think I'm getting blinds fitted, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, and then I'm getting a sofa in here, which I might try and move it today Rachel's out for the day, so I'm like, I can move it myself without any hassle. If that that sounds really bad, doesn't it? I'm not saying Rachel hassle me, but sometimes it's easier. Just too many cooks can spoil the broth. The only thing is, moving the actual frame, but from memory, it's pretty light. It's pretty ish, anyway, I'll be bringing all the cushions and stuff in. Anyway, there we go. Right, let me go and say goodbye. I feel like I've got on a waffle there for 10 minutes. Let me go back in and see what's going on. Morning all, just watching being. Oh yeah, click, yeah, absolutely. Morning boss, morning John, morning champ. Emergency ideas, please. Starving this morning. Ideas all other than yog or porridge bowl. Pancakes. Go make your own pancakes. What is it? Talk about Aldi protein pancakes, stuff like that. You can make your own pancakes, right? When I post protein pancakes, there's no thing that says only eat these, never make your own. You can make your own. You want one banana. You want one banana. If you've got a NutriBullet, right? If you've got a NutriBullet and you want to make your own protein pancakes, right? Get a NutriBullet. Put 30, maybe 40 grams of oats in your NutriBullet or your Ninja blender thing. Blend them so they'll go like a flour, right? Then add a banana, add an egg, maybe add a scoop of yogurt in there. That's all you sort of need, and then blend all that up, right? And it should be quite a thick consistency. Non-stick pan, light bit of oil, blob. Let them cook on one side. When they're cooked on one side, turn them over, and you've got a couple of homemade protein pancakes. Really, really simple. I'll do it as a recipe. It really is simple to make your own protein pancakes. But when I say it's simple to make them, but does it take a lot more time than doing that and putting two in a toaster for a minute? Of course it does. It makes washing up and this, that, and the other. So, again, a lot of people don't live in the real world when it comes to eating. We are busier in 2025. We have more distractions in 2025. So everyone seems to have time to spend hours on their phone. Everyone seems to have time to spend hours watching Netflix. But that doesn't negate from the fact that we need time to chill out and step away from like realities of life, which is what Netflix does and the phone does from time to time. But still, we are really, really busy. Like I say, most households now have two people working, whereas 60 years ago, most households had one person working and one person that didn't work, one person that run the household, right? And yes, more stuff was homemade then, but also back in the 60s, not everyone had a fridge freezer. There wasn't supermarkets. There wasn't a lot of more convenience type foods and stuff like that, for the rights or wrongs of it. Johnson put the TikTok sounds better than YouTube. Yeah, and I think that's just because the mic on her phone is better than what's on my computer. I could actually mic up on my computer, which would make it 10 times better. Like I recorded some content in here yesterday, mic'd up on my vlogging camera, and the sound was perfect, which is why I'm going to do a podcast today. So yeah, I could mic up on my computer, and I might actually buy a mic for my. I've got mics, but I might actually buy a desk mic for my computer. So when I'm doing these lives, the quality of sound would be better anyway. Even when this is kind of not soundproof, but you know what I mean. Also by the way, stepping away from a sweet breakfast. So I like a sweet breakfast. It's just my own personal preference, but if you don't want to have a yogurt bowl or thing about eggs, get your eggs going. If you're at home now and you've got the options, one of the best is make a bacon and egg butty, couple of eggs, 3 or 4 rashers of bat bacon. 3 or 4 rashers, not bat bacon, 3 or 4 bacon medallions. Whack it on a decent wholemeal barm or any barm really. It's still nutritionally dense. I'm actually going to talk about in this podcast that I'm recording today, The Devil is in the Dose. What a lot of people don't understand as well is one cracked egg doesn't ruin the whole dozen. And if you buy a dozen eggs and you're taking them out of the packet and you put them in the fridge and you drop one, you don't then automatically go and drop the other 11, do you? Go, all right, I'll need to go and get another dozen eggs. Right? Again, it doesn't work like that. So again, when we're looking at products, I'll put beans on toast, one of the most nutritionally dense meals you can have. And it generally is, right? You tell me any other meal for 650. I mean, people are going to go, well, this, right? But any other meal for about 650 calories that you can make in under 5 minutes. Right, that's the thing, right? In under 5 minutes. 2 pieces of toast in the toaster, beans in a microwave bowl, 4 minutes in microwave, right? Or 2 minutes, give it a stir, 2 minutes. Toast pots, whack a bit of butter on it, bang. Right, that's going to give you 31 grams of fibre, over 30 grams of protein, right? And then when we also look at it, beans, right, it have zinc, magnesium, potassium. These are all fantastic. They have thiamine, which is really good, and selenium, which is really good for regulating thyroid. So if you have an underactive thyroid, you should be looking at foods that are high in those two things that will help your underactive thyroid. Beans, any beans is one. Beans pulses, right? So it doesn't matter whether it's kidney beans or butter beans or haricot beans that are in baked beans, right? So all this goodness is in there. All right. And then all people thought it's full of sugar. It's not full of sugar, 3.75%. There's 410 grams of food in that tin. And there is 15 grams of sugar. So there's 3.75%. Now, what we always look at with sugar is if a food has less than 5 grams of sugar per 100 grams, it's absolutely fine. So if you've got 400 grams of food and it has less than 20 grams of sugar in it, it's all good. Now, some of the sugar in there is not added sugar; it's just naturally occurring sugars that's in the product, because beans have a little bit of fructose in them. But then there are beans and then they do add sugar in to sweeten the sauce up to make it taste nice. But 15 grams of sugar in 400 grams of food is not a ridiculous amount of sugar. We can consume 90 grams of the recommended allowance for sugar a day for an average. This is just for an average adult. This differentiates between different people. Obviously, if you've got issues around sugar, diabetes, or if you are stupidly fit and healthy and you do loads of exercise, if you've got type 2 diabetes, you might want to have a little bit less than the 90 grams of sugar a day. Likewise, if you are super fit and healthy, you could probably have 200 grams of sugar a day and it's not going to cause you any issues. And I think a lot of people have this association, sugar causes diabetes. It doesn't. Sugar is an issue if you have diabetes, but it doesn't cause, right? It's kind of like correlation doesn't equal causation. All right. So again, there's gonna be a lot of this podcast might be about 3 hours long today. I'm gonna try. I might do Devil is in the Dose. If it runs over 45 minutes, I might do a part 1 and a part 2. I don't know yet. We'll see where we get to. Anyway, struggling at the moment, staying on track with weight loss, just feeling shit. Okay. So yeah, if we are feeling rubbish about ourselves, that's going to massively trigger emotional eating, right? That's the main issue, right? So I'm feeling rubbish. If you have a weight issue, you overeat food. And you generally don't overeat food because you have poor portion control, right? Or, you're a bit greedy, poor portion control. You don't have the best diet, right? No one gets to be in even 19, 20 stone. We've got to take into context, people, if someone's 6'5", I'm 6'5", and I'm over 19 stone, and you might be like, well, you just said people don't get to 90. Yeah, but I'm just a massive guy, right? I'm just a big unit of a fella. That's just the way it is. That's just, even if I was a beanpole, I'd still be 14, 15 stone. Whereas again, some of my clients come on board are 15 stone and desperate to lose weight. Weight's different to height, right? So 20 stone on someone 5'6" is totally different to 20 stone on someone that's 6'5". My mate is 6'10", and he's he's a bit of a unit, right? He's got an all right physique, right? He's not a beanpole. But he's certainly nowhere near fat, and he's like 19 stone. Right, and you'd look at him and go, he's in great shape, and he's 19, but he's 6'10". He's 5 inches taller than me, right? And he's like same weight as me, but he looks miles thinner because extra 5 inches makes a difference. Anyway, so yeah, weight is always different depending on who we are. Anyway, yeah, if you're feeling rubbish at the moment, it does make weight loss harder. So what do you have to do? Well, you have to stop feeling rubbish. And that sounds really a bit pedantic when I'm saying it. And I don't mean you can do that overnight. You can't. So first of all, Collins, you need to find out what's making you feel rubbish. What is making you feel like shit? And you need to tackle it. Now, alongside tackling that, it doesn't mean you can't make improvements. You need to work at it. Now, first thing, to make improve you, if you can't quite stick to a calorie deficit at the moment, try and just make some improvements in your overall diet, right? If you're eating loads of junk food and you can't control that, try and add some fruit and veggies in somewhere, right? Try and replace one meal a day. If you're literally like, I eat rubbish for breakfast, rubbish for lunch, rubbish for my tea, try and eat, at least have a healthy breakfast if you're going to eat breakfast, or at least finish the day off with a healthier tea, right? Try and get some fruits and veggies in. Make sure your hydration's good. Doesn't matter what your mental health is doing, right? You can drink a bit of water. And then try and add things into your lifestyle that make you feel better. Just going for a daily walk, right? You might be like, well, I walk loads anyway. Well, that's fine, all right? So if that's the case, that will be helping, right? But if you don't, I tend to find people that are really struggling with mental health confine themselves quite often to four walls. I used to do this all the time, and it's not good for you. Even today, the sun is shining. Yes, it's cold. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is amazing for mental health, immune system, energy. Get out there, soak it up, get it onto your skin. So just try and make some small changes. And those small changes, eating more fruits and veggies, trying to include one healthier meal a day into your life, going out for a 20, 30-minute walk every day, these things will have a knock-on effect. They will make you feel better. Once you start to feel a little bit better, then you might then be able to control your calories enough to stick to a calorie deficit. Make sure your calorie deficit is healthy and nutritious. It's healthy and sustainable, right? So a lot of people, I'm struggling to stick to my calories at the moment. How many calories you're eating? 1,100 a day. Of course you are. Everyone struggles to stick to it. It's not that you're struggling to be consistent. You'll always struggle to be consistent if you're going to try and do this in a non-consistent way. So there's lots of little things to look at. Yeah. Let me scan down, see what's going on. It's definitely less echoey. Brilliant, Karen. Thank you very much. We like that. We like a bit of less echoing. Don't want to collaborate. Thank you, mate. Yeah, you're not allowed to leave a bad review in Thailand. It's illegal. So everything take with a pinch of salt. Really? That's amazing. That's like proper propaganda, isn't it? So you're not allowed. I think I've heard that somewhere on TikToks. A lot of people go to Thailand, don't they, like holidays and stuff, especially this time of year because the weather's good. And it's really cheap, isn't it, when you're there? It's expensive to get there, but really cheap when you're there, depending on what you're doing. You're not allowed to leave a bad review. Wow. Thoughts on simmer food? Do you know what? I've seen it pop up on my TikTok all the time. I don't even know what it is. I've just seen the adverts pop up and I've skipped on. I know I know the advert because it always pops up. It's like, how much do you spend on food a month? X amount. Well, what if I told you could have this? I don't even know what it is. I don't know what the structure is of it, to be honest with you, so I can't comment on it. Jen is in, good morning. Kerry's in, morning. Lisa's in, good morning. If I've missed any good mornings, again, it's not personal. Would you allow more calories on days doing long walks? When I'm better, I'm planning a 15-mile walk. You could do. One thing we need to understand is if we are overweight, if we have one day where we do a ridiculous amount of movement and we burn more calories, we've got the energy in our body to make up to fuel us through that. What we won't have in our body is something that we do use that isn't. It is stored in our body, but we don't have endless supplies of it. So basically, if you're 50 pounds overweight, which is 3.5 stone, right? 50 pounds is 250,000 calories, right? So if you do a 15-mile walk, that's a right trek, right? And on that day, you might burn 5,000-6,000 calories. But if you're 3.5 to 4 stone overweight, you've got 250,000 calories. Now, we store glycogen in our system. We store it in our brain, we store it in our liver, and we store it in our skeletal muscle. And glycogen is the energy we take from carbohydrates, and it is our driving force for energy. Optimal brain health, optimal energy out. It's when we're doing things like walks, Like glycogen's used more for like power movement, so things that we need quick energy for, like brain function. I don't want to sit there going, turn plus turn is, now don't get me wrong, you get brain fog. You need your brain to kick in instantly, right? You don't want your brain to be like a hard drive that's full of garbage that when you're trying to access something, it's just taking forever to come out. Well, as long as you've got a decent bit of glycogen in your brain, it will help brain function, right? It will help you quicker process. When you're doing more intense exercise, like going for a run, like going for lifting weights, stuff like that, you'll use glycogen. As that, your body needs that to be optimal to lift weights, to go for a run and stuff like that. Going for a walk is obviously a lot less intense, but the longer you walk, the more intense it gets. And a 15-mile walk is going to take you, let's say you average 3 miles an hour, which is a decent pace as an average, right? That 15-mile walk is taking you 5 hours, right? So you will use a lot of glycogen. So that is something that you need to think about, And to put more glycogen into your system, you're going to need more food. That food is carbohydrates. So you might need more calories. So yeah, you might plan it out where, but don't think of it like I need loads and loads of extra energy to do a 50. You need the right energy. And that might mean more calories, if that makes sense. Years ago, when I was a PT, Monday was always my highest calorie burn. Like my Apple Watch, I know I didn't burn this amount of calories because these are very optimistic, but my red movement would always be between 2,500 and 3,000 on a Monday, because I used to teach 2 classes, sometimes 3 fitness classes, and I did the classes with I always do. So when I do my spin class, I do the spin class, right? If I did something like a cardio kettlebell hit session, right, I would do, we used to call it, cardio kettles? So it's just dead lightweight, lots of movement. I do it with the class, right? So I do 2 or 3 of those, and I burned 500-600 calories. That's 1,800 calories. I didn't do lots of PT sessions on a Monday. I used to keep my Mondays quite chill. So I used to do PT. I used to do like 9 till 12, and then I might do 1 till 4. And then at 4 o'clock, I'd do my class. I'd do 4 till 5 class, 5 till 6, and then sometimes 6 till 7, I'd do a class. But yeah, Mondays was always a day where, so including my metabolism on a Monday, real life, this isn't going off Apple Watch, I burn 4,500, 5,000 calories. Very rare on a Monday, I ate more than 2,000 to 3,000, 2,500 calories. It was always my lowest calorie day. And that was because Sunday was always a very high calorie day. So I'd take some of those calories over, and it wouldn't, it's not that I'd always have a new weight loss week, but if you eat a lot of food on a Sunday, some of the stuff that's giving you is still in your system, and I just never had a high appetite on a Monday, even though I move loads. So don't think loads of movement always means I need loads of food. Right? And I was pretty lean then. I didn't even have a lot of excess body fat. Does that make sense? I made a curry last night, only 6 ingredients, very easy for NutriCheck. Perfect, Stefan, we like that. I'm doing lasagna today. I'm going to film it. I'm going to do the boss's lasagna. I'm going to rewrite my recipe a little bit, because I do, when I post my lasagna, when I post my recipes on YouTube, I'm filming it, I'm going to post it on YouTube. I always want them to be calorie conscious. So the thing with lasagna is, look, certain dishes you are going to struggle to make very high protein for very low calories. Certain dishes don't need to be, but you can make dishes as nutritionally dense as possible, and you can make things as higher protein as fiber. And certainly if you're going to compare it to like a lasagna you might buy from Aldi or Tesco, or a lasagna you might make yourself, right? So I'm just going to give you some tips and tricks on how to just be a bit more calorie conscious. Anyway, the lasagna I'm going to make today is going to be a really decent portion. It's going to be 600-ish calories. Maybe I'm going to try and make it under 600 calories. So that's why I'm doing a few tweaks. It's not going to have the most protein in it. It will have some fiber in it as well. But it'll be tasty and delicious, and it will be a decent portion size, right? So anyway, I'm gonna rejig. I've got my own lasagna recipe. I'm gonna rejig it a little bit just to tweak it, or it will be out. I'm gonna try and get it out today. Actually, I'm gonna film it today and try and post it today. And then I'll get a new podcast out tomorrow as well. So that's the plan. Jones in, good morning all. Lauren just said there with protein pancakes. Yeah, scoop away. So I like using a little bit of oat flour. I make my own oat flour just by blending oats, bit of banana, an egg, maybe a little bit of yogurt and some whey protein. Give it a good blend up. You want it nice and thick. Spoon it in so it looks like a bit of an American pancake. I'll do a recipe and how to make your own. Back to work, getting my steps back in now, just sorting my food out again. Brilliant, Stevie. I'm glad things are getting back on track. It can take a little bit of time. Right, let me scan up and see what's going on. The North Face fleece is gorgeous. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I love this fleece. Rachel got it me for Christmas. I spotted it, put it on my Christmas list, and she very kindly got it for me. And it is amazing. It's like in their skiing range, I think. Like it's designed for like going skiing and stuff like that. But it's mega warm. And I just think it's a little bit different. I like the pattern on it. It gets a lot of compliments, this fleece, when I wear it. It's really nice. I love a good fleece. You can't beat them, can you? Greg Sue Bakey's back today. Don't think I've ever had one. Straight to Greg's. Not got a car at the moment. So I don't think I've ever had one. Still not great. Can't really eat anything. Loads of tests done. Hopefully Kelly will all settle down. Just try and do, as always, when things are a bit, we've just got to try and do the best we can. Callum's in, good morning, 8. I'm 6'10". Oh, Michael's a big chap, 6'10". And again, this is what we need to take into consideration. We need to take the amount of this. I'm not being sexist when I say this, but when I was a personal trainer, I worked a lot more with women than men. And to be honest with you, as an online coach, I work a lot more with women than men. And there was a common trend when I took a female client on, I'd sit and when I took any client on, I'd sit and have a chat with them. But I always ask my clients, do you have a goal weight, or what's this? And every female client, or I say every female client, I would say 8 out of 10 cats, 8 out of 10 female clients would say their goal weight was 10 stone, right? And what you got to realize, and it didn't matter their height. So I'd have a client that would come to me and they'd be 5'2". What's your goal weight? 10 stone. Right, okay. And then I'd have another client come to me, 5'8". What's your goal weight? 10 stone. And 10 stone on someone 5'2", and 10. Don't get me wrong. I don't care if you're 4'11" or if you're 5'9". 10 stone is a decent weight for anyone, really. You're not going to be classed as, forget the BMI scale, you're going to be absolutely fine. But they are two totally different weights. If you put two people together, one 5'2" and one 5'8", both 10 stone, they will look totally different shapes, right? Let me scan up. That's my goal weight. It's everyone's goal weight, 10 stone. I say, and is there a common trend with men? 12 stone, 2 stone more. That's what I used to get with. Common trend with men was 12. Unless, I did get clients that come to me that were into the sort of, building muscle and into the physique a little bit. And it's very, very, and to be honest with you, a lot of males, when I asked them what the goal weight was, they'd not really thought about it. I found my female clients are a lot more focused on a specific weight than my male clients were. That's just a trend that I've seen, But yeah, everyone 10 stone. I want to be 10 stone. Right, let me scan down, see if I have missed anything. I think I'm on it this morning. These lives are always tend to be a little bit quieter because I'm doing them a little bit later. I might be swapping my times round again in the near future. I will let you know if that's going to happen. But I'm really enjoying training in the morning at the moment. So like Tuesday we were at the gym for 7:15. This we're at the gym for 7:45. So yeah, tomorrow morning, going to get to the gym for about 8 o'clock. Yeah, I'm enjoying just training a little bit earlier. Hence why this live is a little bit later. But I think, to be honest with you, I might move this live in the near future back to 8:30 as the weather gets better, because I find it's miles easier to bounce out of bed when the weather's a little bit nicer than when it's cold, horrible, and rainy. So, Tuesday morning I did a live at 8:30, but I'd already been to the gym. So if I get to the gym for 7, I only ever do generally 45 minutes in the gym. Might do a little bit longer depending on what I've got going on for the day, but 45 minutes in and out normally is enough as long as your training's right. So if I get to the gym for 7, we're done at 7:45. Bit of traffic coming home. It can be quite busy coming home, but by the time I get home, I just jump in here and get the live going. Struggling to up my fibre. Any tips, please? Yeah, beans. Beangate. Eat a tin. A whole tin of beans has got 20 grams of fibre in it. So I've one of them a day. No, in all seriousness, how do you up fibre? So you don't want to be just looking at sticking to single foods to try and get your protein. Just eat chicken, right? Just eat beans, fibre. You need to have a varied diet. So fibre we get. So first of all, you get fibre from carbohydrates. Right, that is where you get fibre from. So you need to make sure you're having a decent amount of carbohydrates in your diet, and those carbohydrates need to be fibrous carbs. So if we break down carbohydrates into different groups, so fruit. So what fruits have fibre? So fruits that have fibre are fruits that have seeds in them when you eat the seed. Strawberry, classic example, right? So if I go on to let me get me iPad up, right? And I'm not going to show you, but I'll just get the nutritional information on my NutriCheck, and I'll just give you some examples. So strawberries, right? So if you were going to have 100 strawberries, and it doesn't matter if they're frozen or fresh, all right? So obviously we need to always look into like cost of things, right? But out of the way. Right, so 100 grams of strawberries is 30 calories and it contains 3.8 grams of fibre, which is amazing, right? Really, really good. If you then compare that to 100 grams of mango, right, which isn't something we would consider as a fibrous carb, 100 grams of mango is 48 calories and it has 1 gram of fibre in it, right? So if you look at fruits where you eat the seed, which is why berries are so good, blueberries don't actually have loads of fibre in, but raspberries and strawberries are decent, right? Next thing we look at with fruits is fruits where you eat the skin, right? So oranges, apple. Now you're gonna, I don't eat orange skin. I don't mean the peel around the outside, but you do eat like the segments. What holds that together is full of fibre. Apples, you eat the skin. Likewise, kiwi fruit. Eat the skin on a kiwi, right? Don't be peeling your kiwi. Eat the skin, right? It's really, really good for you. It's full of fibre and you can eat the skin, right? I think it's only like the Western world that actually peels a kiwi and eats it. Normally, you just eat a kiwi like you would an apple, right? So fruit with skin on. So again, apples, oranges are really good. Kiwis are really, really good. In terms of veggies, again, you need the skin on. The skin holds a lot of the nutrition. So if you're eating potatoes, don't peel them. If you're eating carrots, don't peel them. A lot of green leafy veggies have fibre in them. Broccoli. So again, if we get up 100 grams of broccoli, right, 100 grams, and I want raw broccoli, right, just because I always track everything raw. So 100 grams of raw broccoli is 36 calories, 2.7 grams of fibre, right. So they're really, really good. Okay, legumes are very, very good. Peas, right? You can have garden peas, you can have mushy peas. So again, if we look at, and again, I know you might go, well, I don't like peas. You don't need to like everything I'm suggesting. Just take a little bit. So Bachelor's mushy peas, tin mushy peas, yeah, half a tin of those are 131 calories, but you're going to get 6 grams of fibre. Right? If you took garden peas, this is frozen weight. 100 grams of frozen garden peas are 70 calories and you get 6 grams of fibre, right? So peas are really, really good. Beans. So any type of beans, like I've just said there, baked beans, right? If you have half a tin of baked beans, right? Let me find out. So Branston that I put on the other day, half a tin of Branston beans is 175 calories for 12.2 grams of fibre, right? Now, I've looked at fruits and veggies. We can look at whole grains, brown rice, oats, things like that. Have all got a decent amount of fibre in. It can be any beans. It doesn't have to be baked beans. It can be green beans. It can be not green beans. Sorry, like kidney beans, broad beans. So you need to get a whole variety of fibrous foods into your diet, and you'll find it not a problem. But and again, the recommended daily allowance for fibre is 30 grams a day. You don't need to hit that day in, day out. It's all about averages. So let's say if you had today, right, for your breakfast, porridge, protein porridge for your breakfast, you had beans on toast for your lunch, full tin of beans, 2 slices of wholemeal bread, a little bit of butter. And then for your tea tonight, you had a roast dinner, chicken, carrots with the skin on, potatoes with the skin on, bit of broccoli and some gravy and little Yorkshire pudding, right? You're probably going to be having over 50 grams of fibre today. So if you have 20 grams or 15 grams tomorrow, over the 2 days, you've had 82.5. It's all about averages, yeah? So that's what you need to be looking at. Now, guys, if you currently have a low fibre diet, right? Low fibre diet for me would be anything that is anything under 100 grams of fibre over a week. So if you're using NutriCheck, so I'll go into my week view on NutriCheck, right? So when you're in your week view on NutriCheck, I don't know if you can see that. This is my week view on NutriCheck, right? At the top there, you can look at all different, like different macros. So fat, saturated fat, carbs. Now, I don't want you to try and stick to specific numbers because it gets very, very complicated. But if I look at last week, so like I said there, the recommended, this is just an average for an adult, fibre a day, 30 grams a day. So you want 210 over a week. If you're less than 100, you've got a low fibre diet, right? If you're anywhere between 100 and 200, you're all right? You don't need to panic too much. Try and add a couple of little bits and pieces in. If you're over 200, you've got a high fibre diet, right? So if I look at my fibre for last week, I had 198.7 grams of fibre over a week, right? Monday, I had 16.4 grams. Tuesday, I had 11.9. So I had 2 low days of fibre, but Wednesday, I had 43.7. Thursday, I had 27. Friday, I had 28. Saturday, I had 43. And then Sunday, I had 28. So it's all about averages. If I look at the week before, I had 215 grams of fibre. Again, my lowest fibre day the week before was 23 grams. My highest fibre day the week before was 41 grams. Right, the week before that, I had 230 grams of fibre in a week. My lowest fibre day was 18. My highest fibre day was just 36.5, but I had loads of days over 30 grams of fibre. So look at it as an average, over a period of time. If you currently have a low fibre diet, so you're having less than 100 grams of fibre a day, don't go from having 100 grams, a week. Don't go from having 100 grams of fibre a week to having 400 grams of fibre a week because you will not go to the toilet. You need to introduce it ramp it up a little bit, yeah? How do you see the week view on the app? If I can show you, it's very hard for me to kind of hold up and not touch the screen. But this is your daily diary on NutriCheck. And you'll see here, you've got a hamburger at the top, 3 lines. Click on that, right? And that'll bring up this section here. And then right at the top, it says week view. And then you've got your week view there. So it gives you your calories per day. Now, at the bottom of your week view, it will say include exercise calories. Turn that off. You don't need that. And it will say include net calories. Turn that on. Because what net calories does is it shows you. So always set your calories on NutriCheck as your daily average. Do not use easier days or anything like that. Don't try and give yourself set numbers. Right? Set it as your daily average. So if your calories are 2,000 calories a day, you should have 2,000 every day. Then what you should have in your mindset is some days I'm going to bank some calories and some days I'm going to eat banked calories. Days where you're going to bank calories, you're going to try and make those green. That's your number, right? And I recommend going 10 to 15% under. So 2,000 calories a day, try and eat between 17 and 1,800. right? And your net at the end there will be green. Bank, 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 bank. You're banking calories. If it's not your day, don't panic about it. You've done nothing wrong, right? And then on a Saturday, Sunday, you're going to eat those bank calories where you've got a bit more food freedom. So I know it's backwards, but if you can see there on mine, right, you can see Monday, this is last week, Monday to Friday, green, 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 which means Monday to Friday, I was banking calories. So I was below my daily average. If you then look at Saturday, Sunday, you can see it's red because I've gone over my daily average using my bank calories. And then right at the bottom, right, if I don't have to flip my camera. I'll find out on this. I know how on my phone. Let me not flip my camera, mirror my camera. Right, if I find out my phone and it'll look the right around now on my TikTok, right? And then if you see right there at the bottom, right, you can see that it's in green, and that means I'm under my calories for the week. So my target is 18,200. If that's in green, I'm under. If it's in red, I'm over, right? Now, the week before, I was over by 10 calories, right? It's 10 calories, it's nothing, right? When you're looking at this, your Wheat View or Nutricheck, it's not good or bad. Don't say, oh, greens means I've had a good day, red means I've had a bad day. You don't need to make every day green, right? Again, it's association. Red means I'm doing something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. Even if this, at the end of the week, is red, right? Why is it red? Well, I'm 10 calories over. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Even if you're 1,000 calories, 2,000 calories over, you need to know what your calorie deficit is. My calorie deficit is 5,000 calories a week. That's the deficit I aim to put myself in. I put myself in quite a big deficit because I'm a big guy and I move a lot. So I can have a bigger deficit than what the average person can. A 3,500 calorie deficit means you'll lose one of these, right? I weigh every 2 weeks to track my progress, and every 2 weeks, I'm aiming to lose 2 to 3 of these. Not 2 to 3, because I'm in a slightly bigger deficit, right? I was 10 calories over. That means I'm still in a 4,990 deficit. The week before, I was 43 calories over. That means I am still in a 4,957 calorie deficit that week. Just because I go over my calories a little bit doesn't mean I'm not making superb progress, right? Sometimes, the week before that, I was 852 calories under my ideal deficit, right? So I had those left over. That means that week I was in a 5,850. I'm just in a bigger deficit, right? If I go back into last year, right? So if I look at, let's go back into last year, right? Week commencing 25th of November, I was 619 over. And again, some of you guys go, oh God, I've blown my calories this week. No, you haven't, right? I'm 619 over, which means I'm still in a 4,381 calorie deficit that week. Fantastic. If you're sticking to the standard calorie deficit, the one that I put most of my clients in to lose one of these, which is 3,500 calories a week, and you go 600 over, you're still in a 2,900 calorie deficit. You might not lose a full one of these that week, but you're still going to lose all that, right? And you're still making progress. You've got to understand how the numbers work, especially if you're calorie counting. If you're currently calorie counting to lose weight and you're just literally like, what's a good number to lose weight? Well, Denise at work, she's eating 1,200 calories a day, so I'll eat 1,200 calories a day. Absolute pointless. It's unsustainable. You're not going to stick to it. You're shooting in the dark all the time. It's overly restrictive, and it'll just be another fad diet. And in 6 weeks' time, you'll be doing Slimming World. And then you got Slimming World. Unsustainable, overly restrictive. You'll do that for 2 months, 3 months. And after that, it's summer. I'll get back to it in September. When all the kids go back to school in September, you've gained a stone. You're really pissed off. Next thing, you're buying 30 Slim Fast shakes from Home Bargains, right? You do your Slim Fast shakes for a month, right? But it's over restrictive. It's unsustainable. So you stop doing that. Then you go back to Slimming World. I've got 2 months till Christmas. Then you go back to Slimming World. Slimming World 6-8 weeks, Christmas starts coming around, you start buying your Stollen and your Pringles and you're dipping into them. I'll start again in January. January, you do your 1,200 calories a day because it's just a vicious circle. We've got to step away from crazy fad diets, and whatever weight loss method we're going into, we need to understand how it works. It's the same with Slimming World. Slimming World might give you 12 sins a day, right? If you have 16 sins in a day, you're not blowing anything. You just had a few more calories than Slimming World wants you to have. Yeah. What happens if you don't meet daily protein, but still don't have protein goals? It's dead simple, Jules. Take them out of the equation. They don't make a jot of difference, right? If you stick to a 3,500 calorie deficit, right, and you eat 70 grams of protein a day, or you stick to a 3,500 calorie deficit and eat 150 grams of protein today, you'll lose body fat. Fat loss is fat loss. Now, protein is a more filling macronutrient, and it also has a higher thermic effect of food. So hear me out. The more protein we have in our diet, right, thermic effect of food is basically the amount of energy it takes to digest that food, so it's not absorbed by the body. So if you eat 1,000 calories of protein, right, the thermic effect of protein is 20%. So if you eat 1,000 calories of protein, the body will only absorb about 800 calories. It'll only take on board about 800 calories. If you eat 500 calories of protein, right, and obviously if you only eat 500 calories of protein, you're going to be eating more carbs and fats. But carbs and fats have a thermic effect as well, right? So if you eat 80 grams less protein in a day, because protein is 4 calories a gram, right? You are going to be having 320 calories less protein, which means you're going to be absorbing maybe 50 calories more. Yes, you replace it with carbs and fats. They have a thermic effect. So I'm getting complicated here, and I don't want to get complicated. What I'm trying to say is some people will say, no, the more protein you eat, the more fat you lose. It doesn't make it. The difference is insignificant. The more protein you eat, the more it will suppress your appetite, which makes it miles easier to control your calories. But if you're perfectly, because you just said there, what happens if I don't hit my protein goal, but I'm sticking to my calories? Right. If you can control your calories, eating 60 grams of protein a day, you'll lose a pound of body fat if you're in a 3,500 calorie deficit. If you can't control your calories eating 60 grams of protein a day, work at eating more. But you don't need to stick to a specific goal. This is where I simplify fat loss, right? Because it's insignificant. If your main goal, we've always got to have a main goal, right? We should always have a main goal. It doesn't mean you can't do other goals alongside your main goal. Main goal is weight loss, right? But alongside that, you want to get fitter and healthier, or you want to build some muscle, right? Yes, to build muscle, to get fitter and healthier, we need to have a decent amount of protein. If your body's used to weight training and you want to build muscle, you might need to start hitting specific targets of protein. But that's not your main goal. That's not your concern at the moment. Your concern is weight loss. So I want you, and I'm not a coach where I'm a bodybuilding coach. I want to strip fat. I'm a weight loss coach. I work with everyday people, and their main goal is to lose weight because they have a weight issue. Right? That's where my advice comes from. So your main goal is weight loss. Calories are king. That's it. Try and have a high protein diet. Try and have a high fiber diet. Try and drink lots of water. All these things will help you control your calories, but specific goals are pointless. Now, if your main goal is to get absolutely hench in the gym and build loads of muscle, well, but alongside that, you want to try and trim some fat out of your body to have a better physique, right? That's a totally different ball game, right? Yes, to do that, you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose body fat, but you also need to be hitting specific protein goals to be building that muscle, right? And if your main goal is to have a great muscular physique alongside losing some body fat to become shredded, I'm not your coach. That's a different kettle of fish. I can coach like that, right? But it's not what my content's about. It's not what my advice is about, right? Get loads of people going, that is pathetic if you're doing a cut. And I comment, this isn't a bodybuilding page, mate. This is a weight loss coaching page. To move on, if that's the advice you're looking for, right? This is a great meal that will help people control their calories. That's the main goal, Yeah. So don't overcomplicate. Yeah. Don't overcomplicate. Please get a booster. Keeps cutting out. I've got one. I've got one. You're on a booster, and I've got a 90 meg broadband. So if it is cutting out, guys, it's TikTok. It's not. It's nothing to do with my signal. Sometimes TikTok. Yeah, it's on red on TikTok. That is TikToks. Unfortunately, because I assume it's all good. If it's cutting out, jump to Facebook, YouTube, and you'll find TikTok's been a bit rubbish this week, and I don't know why. TikTok's been a bit rubbish this week with its signals, so it might be upgrading its servers, or it might be something like that. But yeah, TikTok is a little bit rubbish. Let me just check. Let me just check. Hey guys, if you're watching on TikTok, sorry for you guys on Facebook, YouTube. I was just checking I was connected. Yeah, I don't know why this week. Oh, it's connected back up now. Green. I don't know why this week TikTok has been a bit unstable with the connection. I had to upgrade its servers. It does happen from time to time. If it is jumping, I'm connected to a Wi-Fi booster, and I've got my Wi-Fi is pretty decent. It's not the best, but it's pretty decent. I am thinking though. I am thinking of I need to upgrade to full fibre. I'm going to do that because I have like Fibre Max, Sky Fibre Max 2 or something, and it does what it says on the tin. But I can get full fibre, which is like I think it's 900 meg. They've said I get. I know you won't get that. Anyway, I will look into it or upgrading to those sort of speeds. Anyway, but yeah, TikTok's a bit rubbish this week. I don't know why. Anyway, but I am connected to my boost, to my router. So's my computer. Josh, morning, Neil, morning, mate. Oh, I've just sent an invitation to someone. Please ignore it. I didn't mean to. I've lost a stone over 1,500 calories, but is that too low? Not planning this forever, just for now. It is too low. And the issue is with you saying that I'm not planning this forever. Look, weight loss is forever. And what I mean by that is you want to lose your weight and keep it off, right? So doing something now that you're not willing to do, because a lot of people go, right, well, I'm going to eat 1,500 calories a day, and then when I've had a boost or I'll increase my calories. What happens then is you increase your calories and your weight will go up. Your fat won't go up as long as you're in a calorie deficit. But if you eat 1,500 calories for a month and then you move to 1,800 calories, an extra 300 calories a day is an extra 2,100 calories of food a week, right? That extra food is going to increase your food weight, your water weight, and probably a little bit of water retention in your body. That is going to represent on the scales. And then what people do is they eat 1,500, they move to 1,800 and go, if I eat any more than 1,500, I gain weight. No, you've just increased your average balances that's in your body. If you then weigh a week after, those average balances, if you stay consistent to 1,800, they're there, and then you'll start seeing losses again. And then people are like, I have to eat 1,500 to lose weight. Any more than that, I gain weight. There's a difference between weight gain and fat gain, right? When I get dressed, I gain weight because my clothes weigh something, right? When I eat food, I gain weight because food weighs something and it sits in my system until it comes out the other end. So, but fat loss and fat gain is determined by calories only, right? So if you can gain weight in your body while losing body fat, right? Likewise, you can lose weight in your body while gaining body fat. How does that work? So if I eat now that's harder to do, but it can happen. So if I eat in a calorie deficit for a week, 3,500 calorie deficit for a week, I lose a pound of body fat. But if for whatever that week I'm a bit dehydrated, I might start on a new medication. I might increase the volume of what I'm eating. So I might be going, I'm going to have a health kick this week. I'm going to eat loads of fruits and veggies. That's more food going in your system. So you might lose a pound of body fat. But if you have go on to a new medication that causes a bit of water retention, you might increase your water retention. If you're female and it's time of the month, that will increase your water retention. If you start eating more volume foods, that'll increase your food weight. Right? I feel I've mirrored my camera and I'm going to mirror it back because it's a bit weird. Right, there we go. That will increase your food weight. Right? All those will show on the scales. So this might be your weight on Friday morning, right? And then a week later, this is your body fat. This is your actual weight, right? Your body fat might do this, but your weight might do that because of those little increases. It doesn't mean you're any fatter. You're actually less fat, but you've just hit the scales at the time that's shown that. So you might lose a pound of body fat, gain 2 pounds of water retention for whatever reason, and you're a pound heavier. You're not a pound fatter. Likewise, I might eat 3,000, I might eat a lot of volume foods for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I've constantly got a decent amount of food in my system. Yeah? Right? But for a week, I decide to eat junk food. Nothing but junk food. Just McDonald's every day. McDonald's every day is going to massively reduce the volume of food going in here. So your average volume of food that's constantly sat in your stomach and through your digestive tract will reduce. So if you eat a 3,500 calorie surplus, right, you will gain a pound of body fat. But if you do that by consuming a hell of a lot less volume of food, your food weight that's constantly averaging in your gym might reduce by 2 to 3 pounds. So gain a pound of body fat, right, but reduce the volume of food by 2 pounds, you'll actually be a pound lighter on the scales, but you are technically a pound fatter, right? So we do have to understand how scales work and how these fluctuations work. Now, don't get me wrong, to gain body fat and lose weight isn't easy, because if you're going to eat McDonald's for a week, yes, you're going to reduce the volume that you're eating. You're going to massively increase the salt in your body. That causes water retention. You're probably going to be quite dehydrated. So that's tougher to do. What is very easy to do is to lose body fat and gain weight in other places, which will show either a maintain or gain on the scales. Yeah. You remind me of Paddy McGuinness. I used to get that all the time when I came on TikTok. I've not had it for a bit. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my voice. He's Bolton. I don't know what my accent is. So I was born and bred in Blackpool, right? But I don't think Blackpool has a specific accent. Preston does, and I've lived all my life in between Blackpool and Preston. So, but I don't have a Preston accent either. Bolton is another level from Preston, right? Which is Peter Kay, Paddy McGuinness. So, and then if you go past Bolton, if you go a bit south of Bolton, you're getting Wigan. That's a different accent altogether. And then if you go past Bolton, you're getting into Manchester, which is a different accent altogether. But I think it depends where you are in the country, because if I hear someone from Birmingham, I'm like, you're from Birmingham. If I hear someone from Yorkshire, I'm like, you're from Yorkshire. But obviously, there is a massive difference between a Bradford accent, a Leeds accent, and a Barnsley accent, but we kind of amalgamate together. So I don't know if everyone does, but I don't know. But I assume you say Paddy McGuinness. I don't think I look like Paddy McGuinness. Maybe I do. We've both got sticky out ears, so I don't know. Anyway, there we go. What happens if you don't meet done that one? Right, guys, is it off? I've got past. I've got to go. I've got a live. I need a bit of breakfast. I'm hungry. We've got a live in... Give me 20 minutes, guys. So if you join my plan or you join my community, you get access to my weight loss coaching lives on our private Facebook group. And we've got them coming up. And this morning's weight loss coaching is talking about discipline. So the difference between motivation and discipline. Why? Because this time, motivation in January, straight after Christmas, through the roof. As we move into February, our motivation drops. And this is where our discipline determination needs to start kicking in. Motivation is not a permanent thing. We want it to be. How do you stay motivated all the time? I don't. Right? I don't. Right? I don't stay motivated all the time. When motivation wanes, discipline kicks in. That's what I'm going to be discussing and how you need to put that into place. Yeah. Not moving a lot. When no exercise, Carls, is it time to reduce again as not losing? No, you should know if your calories are right, you should never need to reduce them. And I mean that. Come plan with me or join my community and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a live. I just haven't got time now because I've got to go. But you don't. You would need to, if your calories are right to start off with, you would need to lose 4 to 5 stone in weight. If your movement's never changed, right, you need to lose 4 to 5 stone in weight before you even need to think about recalculating your calories because of a massive slowdown in weight loss. Now, if you're sat there now going, Neil, no, my movement has massively reduced and I've lost 5 stone in weight, yes, there's a chance your deficit has now become a maintenance. So that's something we need to address. But that's certainly not from not exercising. You don't burn that many calories exercising. I've never, if I have a client that exercises 4 times a week and suddenly they stop exercising, I'm like, I'm not changing your calories. Your deficit might be a little bit smaller, but nothing major. Because if you go to the gym 5 times a week, right, you'd be lucky if you burn 1,500 calories. You divide that by 7, right? It increases your calories burn by about 125, maybe 150 a day. Right? So if you're in a 500 calorie deficit and you stop exercising, you're still in a 400 calorie deficit. It's not going to change the results that much, right? And if you can compensate that a little bit by doing a little bit more everyday movement, you're all good. You're genuinely all good. Right, guys, I've got to go. If you're on Plan with me, if you want to come on Plan with me or in the community, like, what's your Plan or community? I have no idea. TikTok profile, click on my link tree. The first tab in my link tree is an inquiry form. Right? It's dead simple. I'll show you very, very quickly before I go. Guys, you'll just have you guys that are on Planner in the community, just be a bit patient with me. I'm going to be a bit behind because I need to go get some breakfast. I'm absolutely out Marvin. I'm not eating after training. Right? It's a bit of a psychological thing at system within an hour of training. I'm not doing that. Right. If you click on my link tree, my profile, this is my link tree. Right? If you want to touch base with me and inquire about my plan or my community, click on this top one here. Yeah, click on the top one there, right, and it'll just bring up an inquiry form. Hi Neil, seen you on TikTok. I'm a bit unsure about my calories. I'm struggling a little bit at the moment. It will bring up an inquiry form at some point. My computer's having a bit of a breakdown. If you're like, oh no, Neil, I've watched you for ages. Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit. Let's get on Plan with you. Let's increase my accountability. That's your button. Click on that. Yeah, $29.99 to sign up to my plan. $29.99 a month. I just ask for 3 months commitment. If for whatever reason you've got some financial restraints or you just don't feel you need one-to-one coaching but you need a bit of extra support, come join my community. It's £5. Click on that. Join the community. No, it's not, Neil. It's a tenner. Use code WELCOME at checkout. Your first month's £5. No contract, cancel anytime. Come in for a month. If you don't want to stay around, leave. But I will give you a full, just for joining my community, you will get a full calorie breakdown from me. Those calories are right. Right? If you're not losing weight, sticking to the calories I give you, it's because you're not sticking to the calories I'm giving you. But we can work through that, and we can work on it. Yeah. Right, guys. It's I've got to go. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm gonna go get some food. I will be back for you people on Plan in the community. Get signed up now. You can come and watch the next live at 11 o'clock ish. I'm gonna go 10 past 11. Give me 20 minutes, guys. 25 minutes. Let me go and get a bit of breakfast. I don't quite know what I'm having yet. I need to track my calories first for the day to see what calories I've got. I'm thinking protein porridge, so I might have a bit of cereal. Anyway, oh no, I'm not. I'm going to go yogurt. I might go pancakes. Anyway, I will see you lovely people in about 20, 25 minutes. Come sign up to the community. Come see the next live. Motivation versus discipline. If you can't make the lives, by the way, that are done in the Facebook group, they are all saved. Oh, I'm neglecting you guys on Facebook, YouTube. Right, I'm going on TikTok. Guys, I'll be back on TikTok. If you just follow me on TikTok, I'll be back at 8 p.m. this evening. So I will see you then. Let me end my TikTok live. Oh, why won't it end? There we go. Right. See you later, TikTok. And you lovely people, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah, I'm back tonight as well on Facebook and YouTube at 8 p.m. Dual stream. But again, if you guys want to join up, my link tree is in my TikTok profile, but it's also on my Facebook page. It's also on my YouTube channel. So come get signed up. Come join the community. Get involved. Right. If I don't see you, though, have a lovely day. If I don't see you, I'm going to dual stream TikTok, YouTube tomorrow. Facebook, YouTube tomorrow. My live is 11 a.m. tomorrow. I'm going to dual stream that one as well. So I'll see you either tonight 8 p.m. if this is the only way you follow me, or tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. See you later.